What is going on, everybody? It's Ginger on Wheels again. I'm out on my new e-bike. This is the Vitilan i7. It is a 750 watt motor, got a 48 volt system with a 13.5 amp hour battery, advertised 35 to 50 miles of range. And let's check the top speed real quick because I forget what it is. LCD is pretty hard to see in the sunlight here. Looks like 29 miles per hour top speed. Not bad. But today we're gonna go shark teeth hunting. We are on the best beach in the world for shark teeth hunting. It's Topsail Beach in North Carolina. So we're just gonna try and find some access point and then roll over to the beach. All right, we're just hiking down the stairs to the beach. Now we gotta find my sister. She's out here with her dog. This is so cool. Everyone here has never seen an e-bike, so this will be the first time for everybody on the beach to see one. Wish I knew where Christine went. Oh, this is great. What is this? Speed mode 2, and I've got it in gear 7. I'm barely working at all, and we're just munching through the sand. This is so hard to ride in by yourself, in case you're not aware. Sand and anything with skinny tires, no go. You need the wide tires, and then when you have wide tires on a beach cruiser bike, it gets heavy, and it's just hard to ride in general. So beach cruiser that's electric is a winning combo for sure. Just gotta find Christine. I think the sand will get a little harder towards the low tide down here. Yeah, up there, over on that way, the sand is really loose and the bike goes a lot slower. You can tell it's working harder, but this is great. We are cruising. There she is. I see Christine and Roland, the dog. If we don't find some shark teeth today, it's gonna be pretty depressing, but I think we will. I've got high hope. I think I'm gonna go down that way because there's less people, and I'm gonna launch the drone up. So if you wanna walk that way, we can meet. Let's go. This is freaking sweet. I love these fat tires. I feel like I'm on some sort of moon rover. I'm in speed mode 2 right now. Looks like we got 12 mile an hour in the sand. Speed mode 2 out of 5, by the way. It has 5 speed modes. And if you ever want to ride your bike on the beach like me, make sure you don't go in the water because you'll rust up your bike. And if it does get a little wet from the sea breeze, just give it a wipe down when you get home, because these things do rust surprisingly fast and easy. I'm gonna go up here and I'm gonna throw the drone in the air. We can get some cool aerials. How's that sound? So we're back from the beach. Unfortunately, we have to finish the rest of the video at home. We were able to fold the bike down nice and throw it in this pickup truck over here on the left. No problems doing that. But the beach was a bit hectic. There were people, there were dogs, it was windy. I had to deal with the drone. So we're just back home now. Well, home in North Carolina. I didn't get to do a good job testing the bike really, so I want to go around and do that. I'll show you the different speed modes. It's interesting, on the beach when I was sending it through the sand at like 20 miles an hour, this battery gauge said 25%. Now it says 67, so there is some serious voltage tag on this thing, which means the motor is a little overpowered for the battery, and the battery cells are probably really low quality. As long as it has a BMS, that's fine with me, and it does as far as I know. Not gonna catch on fire easily anyways. So speed mode 1, here we are, 7.2 miles per hour. Let's go ahead and pull out the phone and compare the speedometer on the bike to the phone, because I do not believe e-bikes at all anymore with their speedometers. All right, so speedometer on the bike says 6.0 and my phone says 5. Let's speed it up a little bit. Well, I'll test the different speed modes for you. How about that? Here's speed mode 2. Looks like top speed is 12 according to the e-bike and 11 according to my phone. And speed mode 3, getting a little bit faster now. We're looking at 17 miles per hour on the Speedo and 15 on my phone, so a whole 2 miles an hour off. And it's just gonna keep getting worse as we go faster, I know that much. Bike says 22 and my phone says 20, still 2 miles an hour off. Now let's do speed mode 5. top speed here should be around 30. Speedo on the bike says 28, Speedo in real life says 25. So the top speed, really, with me riding it, is 25 miles per hour. And there you have it, top speed 25 miles an hour. Speedo is 3% or 3 miles per hour discrepant. And I don't believe there's a way to change that. Like, you can't change the tire diameter on here. Little kid is screaming, hello. I really like how zippy this 750 watt motor is. Check this out. It's 750, but I think they said it peaks closer to 1400 watts. So we're at 0, and let's see how long it takes to get to top speed. Ready, go. The rear motor actually torques against the frame so hard that the caliper starts rubbing on the rotor on the rear brake. I like this. We got an 8-speed Shimano shifter as opposed to 7 on some other e-bikes. I really don't like this display though. I wish e-bike companies would quit using it. Hemingway and Haybike and now Vitilan, they're all using this. And it's hard to see in the sunlight and it's not accurate. If you're gonna keep reusing this thing, program it accurately, please. I wasn't counting how long that took. I was seeing if we could get going any faster pedaling, but looks like the top speed's still the same. So from a stop, let's see how long it takes to get up to our 26, 28 mile an hour top speed on here. Ready? Go. And I'll be pedaling to assist as well. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's about top speed. So maybe 14 seconds to get 24 miles per hour. Turning, maneuverability on this thing, it feels like I'm on a tank or like riding a boat or something. It's very slow and cumbersome, and I think that has a lot to do with the tires. The tires themselves are heavy AF, just the rubber in the rim being that big. And when they're spinning this fast, they have a lot of centrifugal force, so they want to keep themselves upright. And you really have to fight against them to get them to lean left or right. It's not like a scooter at all. I've adjusted the bars a little higher, I've adjusted the bars a little lower compared to where they were at the beach, and I put the seat up a little higher, and it fits me a lot better. I like how adjustable this bike is too. Let's test the horn. What does the horn sound like? Little baby horn. Someone in a car is not going to hear you, but a pedestrian on the sidewalk might. Let's see if there is an actual turn signal, or if it's just a switch that holds the horn. So left turn signal should be on. Look at that. Little baby turn signal back here. They're doing that thing though where the plastic is like ghosted black, you know, it's kind of like tinted. I don't know why e-scooter and e-bike companies are doing that. Cars can do that because the lights are like 10 times brighter, but when you do that on an e-bike or a scooter like the Wolf King GT or this bike, it's so hard to see during the day. It's like moot point. So I guess you have blinkers at night. Woo! God, e-bikes never get old. They're so much easier to ride than scooters. Just less stress all around. Scooters are much more extreme, and then unicycles take it to like the next level. So now the battery gauge says we have 23%. And what was that, like maybe 2 miles around the neighborhood? It's weird how much voltage sag there is. I'll bet if I turn the scooter off and rest and stop for a minute or two, the battery will be up to 50% again. It's already at 43. Yeah, just wildly inaccurate battery gauge. Can I push a button to see voltage? Because if you can't even see the voltage, then God, this thing is so hard to see. Yeah, I can't see the voltage at all. So you just have to go off this wildly inaccurate battery display or keep track of how many miles you've gone. Ooh, check it out. This plastic. Is it any easier to see? I guess a little. I wonder how hard it is to see on the camera. For the record, that's the speedometer. That says 53% now. We're in speed mode 5 and we have 7.1 miles on the bike. If we're at 53% resting voltage and we've gone 7.1 miles, we can extrapolate that the thing will get about 15 miles range riding around, you know, decent speed. I'm 220 pounds, and that does matter a lot with electric vehicles, as I'm sure you know. So we've got 8.3 miles total on the bike, and the battery says 20%. And now that the battery is so low, let's see what our top speed is, because it was 28 before, remember? And now it looks like 26.1. So it is slowing down. Well, 26.6. Can we get 27? Can we get 27? Do I hear 27? 27 going on. 27. Oh, 27. There it was. I saw it. It blinked. 27. And that's at 15% battery. We were just at 50% 1 mile ago, and now we're at 15. Like, you just have no idea if you're gonna make it home. I get that the battery percentage is gonna sink a bit under load, but the voltage sag should not be that bad. And now it says 18% battery. So this is the only PEV where this battery gauge is gonna go up as you ride it. How about that? It charges itself. Perpetual motion, ladies and gentlemen. We've done it. God, what a beautiful area. No hills, that's what I like the most. Maximum range out of all our gadgets. But when I have off-road unicycles and scooters, I really like hills, so I don't know if I could do this area for long. All right, let's check out the suspension. Give it a little bounce. Oh, I can bottom it all the way out if I do that. Let me put it on a harder setting. Oh, it was on all the way loose. I think that's why. Yeah, I can't bottom it out now. It feels like the PSI is already pretty high inside the suspension there. Probably comes pumped. It does have rear suspension and I was all excited about it, but it's really hard. You got to put a lot of weight on your butt before the rear suspension flexes at all. I don't think it's adjustable either. It's better than e-bikes with no suspension though, or one of those ones with the suspension in the seat. Let's see if this rear is adjustable at all. There's no dials. Oh, the rear is a spring suspension actually, and it says 1,000 pounds. There you go. There's no adjustment on this. It's the HLT 100 from D&M, 1,000 pound. I assume the 100 means 100 millimeter, but might be wrong on that one. And the front suspension, it says Partner. I guess that's the brand on the front, but it's got grease on it and it's picking up all the sand and stuff. So I hope this seal here is really nice or else that suspension is gonna get sticky quick. You can see how much gunk we picked up on this side. All that stuff. Thing still works well though. I mean, I abused it on the beach. I was going up and over dunes. The throttle piece here is plastic. It's very standard. I think it's actually the same throttle that I wired onto my Wolf King GT, and I quite like this thing. It's not like the thumb throttles that go in like that. I like the ones that go up and down, because when you have the throttle pinned, it feels more like you're holding on to the actual bars instead of having your thumb hanging off. You know, the thumbs are the things that make so you can grip stuff, and when you don't have a thumb, when you have a thumb throttle that makes it so you can't use your thumb, you can't grip the bar, right? It's not safe. I'm pretty sure the Wolf King GTs are still shipping with the bad throttle too. All right, what's our percentage on the Vitilan now? Oh, 34%. Look at that, we're still going up. If I keep riding this thing, we're gonna have 100% charge in no time. I'm legitimately confused. Is the gauge going backwards? Did we start from 0 and I didn't notice? What is going on here? Should I just do circles around this neighborhood till we run out of battery? That'd be a fun little range test. We're already 75% done with it, I guess, and we've only got 10 miles on the bike. I wonder if we'll actually be able to use the whole battery in under 15 miles. This is a great bike. It seems like a quality product. It's very comfortable. It's a little bit heavy for me, but you know, that's the price you pay with these huge fat sand tires on there. I like the shifter setup on this thing though. You don't have to take your fingers too far off the bar to find the shifters. They kind of like naturally fall onto them. The thumb one's right here to go down gears. And then on the other side where my index finger is, that's where the upshifter is. Minimum range test. That's what this video accidentally turned into. First impressions and minimum range test, really, when you think about it. Still got 26 miles an hour top speed, and the battery gauge still says 9%, so I don't know what's going on. We're at 12 miles now. So one cool function I found on this bike that's definitely worth mentioning, if you push the power button a couple times and cycle through the modes, there's a setting right here that says POW. Now we're at 0, and then if you hit the throttle, the POW goes up, and you can see how many watts you're using. Like for example, if I'm using 500 watts consistently, and I have a 1500 watt hour battery, then I know I'll be able to run for 3 hours before the battery dies. And if I'm cruising at 20 miles an hour with that 500 watt output, and I go for 3 hours, then I know my range is 60 miles. Does that make sense? A little bit of battery math. And it works for any PEV, by the way. To get the watt hours, you multiply the volts by the amp hours. You can find out the watt hours and then divide the watt hours by however many watts you're using to get the amount of time that you'll be able to ride at that speed. Right now, this battery says 0%. It looks like 17.9 miles on the odometer, so I'm thinking we're gonna get like 19 miles range, but stay tuned, we'll see. It was just locked on cruise control and then it turned off. It unlocked the cruise control. So let's see if it'll actually go anymore. Of course the battery gauge is going up again. We're at 3%. Let's see if, no more juice left in the tank. So 18.2 miles range at around 25 miles per hour with a 220 pound rider. Ambient temperature about 70 degrees. And I think it's funny, the battery gauge says we have 9% left now, but we still can't use the throttle. We can still pedal it though. It's not like a scooter where I'm gonna have to call an Uber. I can just switch gears and start pedaling it home like a bike. A very, very heavy bike. All right, everyone, thanks for watching my little short review on the Vitilan i7. It's a fun bike. I had a good time riding it. It was really comfortable, and I like the features that it has. The only thing I wish it had is a more accurate battery gauge. So it reminds me a lot of the Haybike Mars. I'm not sure how they compare in price, but that might be worth looking into. But this thing definitely has a more comfortable seat than the Haybike Mars, which I can tell you right off the bat. It does have way better suspension than the Mars too. I really like the fact that you can adjust the front suspension so much. It's got the rear luggage like cargo rack too, so that's kind of nice. We never really did a full walk around, but there it is up close in person. And And let's check out this headlight while it's getting dark here. Hold the plus button down to turn the headlight on. Yep. It's on, but it doesn't do a whole lot. It comes with 2 keys. Don't forget about your keys. You do need these to operate the bike, and they're easy to lose. So get a copy made right when you buy the bike. Don't wait. Also, buy a nice quality, what are they called? Kryptonite lock. You can get a kryptonite lock for this thing. Just hang it on the back here, and then you'll be able to lock it up with peace of mind wherever you go. You won't have to worry about it getting stolen. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. Stay tuned. We got a couple more videos coming from this North Carolina trip, and then that'll be all. We'll be home back in Seattle in like 3 or 4 days. If you're interested in the bike, also don't forget to check the link in the description of this video. I think it'll route you to the website where it's gonna have the cheapest price. So enjoy.